Yeah. Buy more. Buy. I don't care
Stack
what
more.
the price
Stack.
is. Just
Do it.
buy. Whatever it is, buy. No, put me down for like at least 20 Bitcoin. I'll buy it right now. Oh,
Stack
we're
'em.
live? Oh, I got to go. I'm doing the thing with Gerald. Okay. Just 20 Bitcoin. Buy it. Okay. Hey, man, what's going on?
Happy today.
Happy today. I was talking to Marty Greenspan. You know, Marty Greenspan.
He's buying
I
more.
think he's buying 20 Bitcoin. I don't know.
Hey, I'd be buying as much as dollars as I could convert right now. It's not much, but welcome to the show, and let's get into it. Let's thank our sponsors at Quantum Expeditions. They are obviously, if you're interested in getting into mining and you don't know what it's all about, but you do want to invest. Check it out. Go to the website. Because I always tell people, excuse me, if you're ever going to get into this space, don't do the cloud mining, right? Do something like this, right? Where you can actually see the miners, right? You've seen Matty Sats go down to Texas, be in the room, see the ASICs, hear the hum, you know that it's, 100% legit. When you do this cloud mining crap, when I got scammed, that was one of the biggest scams I fell for in 2018. It wasn't a scam either. It was a legitimate mining company. I still think they exist. I won't drop their name right now. But what had happened is the price of Bitcoin went so low that it said in their contract, if the price of Bitcoin goes less than the price of production, we have the right to reserve to not pay you your Bitcoin. So that's why you don't do cloud mining. Okay. There's your lesson there. Also want to thank Quantum Economics, Shieldfolio, and there is a discount code for them as well. If you click on the code, I think it's like it should be coming up soon. That'll get you 20% off your Shieldfolio. And basically what Shieldfolio does is takes all your seed phrases, keeps them safe. And if somebody opens it up and doesn't know what they're looking at, they're just going to open it up and look like they're looking at an empty notebook, right? There's the QR code and the discount code. So basically, if they open it up, it's going to look like a little notepad that's empty, right? And that's what you want. You have to have a special light. And once you put it under a special light, you can see your seed phrases. And it's also, I think, waterproof. And is it fireproof as well, Nick? Does anybody know that?
My question, here's the thing, is it,
Sure.
do I need to put this in a Faraday cage? And what about an EMP?
Wow. You know what's funny that you brought that up? I'm one of the first and few people. This is where the show's about Bitcoin economic theories. So this is Bitcoin.
We should change it to Bitcoin speculation.
Yeah. But this one's a very good question. Because this is Bitcoin security theory, right? So there is a small...
I will share my theory with you too as well. I can't wait to get into this. This will be great.
Yeah, sure. So yes, there is some technologies that exist. It would cost you a lot of money, but there are a few intelligence agencies, few alphabet groups in the world that have this technology where they could drive by your place of residence, pulse, EMP pulse your house or your apartment or your condo, and basically retrieve everything off your device. Now, they only use this technology if you're a high value asset and there's something that they really need from you that, could save the world, right? Or end the world or something like that. But yes, this technology exists. I've actually been working, one of my many business plans that I have rolling in the gears back here is basically a company that we build these little boxes, and they basically have a Faraday cage built into the box. And when you go to sleep at night, you take your phones and your ledgers and you just throw them in there and they're safe while you sleep. And they already have bags that do this. I just don't trust bags. Yeah. And again, as long as you scan it and you can see that there is a brass lining in there, right? So there's basically how a Faraday cage works is Faraday found out that if you take a brass screen, if you actually see the screen in your window or screen in your door, and you turn that into a brass screen, well, guess what? It stops all EMP fluctuations.
And you know what? And the Beastie Boys found out about the brass monkey, and they did a whole song at which, so there's a lot there with brass, and so great
It's
minds,
that funky monkey.
brilliant people are thinking about that funky monkey, the brass. It's
But
early,
yes,
dude. It's early. It's 8 out west. I don't know what you're on the West Coast, right?
yes, it's definitely in
Or
the
did we just
AM
dox you? I
here.
didn't want to dox you, dude. I'm sorry. I just doxed
But
you.
yeah, no, that's something to consider. If
Yeah.
you're somebody that, has, like you were saying, 20 or 100 Bitcoin on your ledger, yeah, maybe you do want a Faraday bag, and you
So I
want to
should get
keep
it off Coinbase, is what you're saying? I should get all that right now. Hold on a moment. Let me call up Brian Armstrong. Hey, Brian. Yeah, it's Matt. I'm going to have to move that Bitcoin into a Faraday cage bag that Gerald Vata said I should get with Shield Folio. Can you make that happen? Okay, thanks, buddy. All right, bye.
So that was going back to Shield Folio. I asked Nick. Nick says they're not fireproof yet, but they are working on that. So that is in the works, right? Because they know that's it's another level of security. So, but it's something to take into consideration. If you are somebody that is, we're just talking about security, right? If you're taking screenshots of your seed phrases, if you're going to do that, just make sure it's on an older device that nobody has access to, right? Like it's not attached to the internet. It's air gapped. At least it's air gapped, right? But don't be doing that on your main device that you use every day that's connected to the mobile web and connected to your home network, because that's when poof, stuff starts.
Bad things happen. Bad things happen.
Exactly. So let's get into it. If you didn't see
Bitcoin theories.
Yes. So, well, actually, first thing I want to just take a look at is the Bitcoin price chart. And of course, they're going to throw up their ad right now, of course. Thank you, TradingView, for ruining all of that. No, I don't want to leave
sponsor
the
the show. Just
yeah.
throw it in like, hey, guess who's sponsoring our show now? TradingView. Thank you.
Thank you. Really? Yeah, let's leave the site. Let's do that. Thank you. So here's the chart. And basically, this is right now. I mean, this is live.
Yeah, the fight is on at 68. I've been watching it all weekend as well.
If we pull out to a 5-year chart, look at this. Like this is like the biggest bull flag in the history of charts, right? Just look at it.
Oh, we just cracked 69 right now, it looks like.
Oh, did we?
As we speak, we just
So again, people do not listen to Gareth
live.
Soloway. He is a tool of Wall Street and a tool in general. But you can clearly see he's already gotten many people liquidated, right? So if you put in that short anywhere between 65 to 67.5, you're gone. You've already been liquidated, right? So if you have a short at 68, it's 69. If you have high leverage, it's 69 and some change. It's gone. Your money's gone. So stop playing these silly games and just be like the hodlers of last resort and just stack your sats. And you keep stacking and you keep stacking and you keep stacking and you keep stacking. And next thing you know, you have some Bitcoin.
You can almost kind of feel right now, live in the moment at 10 after the hour, wherever it is, wherever you are, that there is really some momentum actually happening. This is kind of, again, reminds me of early in the year when we saw Bitcoin make that run to that all-time high over 70,000. And right now we're watching it in real time. The fight unfold at 69,000. I put it out there last week. I retweeted it. I didn't think that we would hit 70 till maybe Wednesday. And I do think we hit a new all-time high next week. And I think that, we're seeing this resistance turn into support. So then when we do blast through 70, we're on our way towards close to 100. Then 70 becomes the new support. And we're watching that form right now in real time. This is incredible, man.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you 100%. I think this is where the floor is being built. We have market structure being built right here. Look at this. Look at those big long green candles right there in that bull flag. Those are telling you.
It just crossed over the 200-week moving average at 40,000, setting a really good base there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we've got a lot of support building here. And, one of the big things, one of my economic Bitcoin theories is that Bitcoin's been protecting the dollar for 15 years now. Here, let me show you. You see that number right there, 985,347. Let me get it closer to the screen. There we go.
It's backwards. It looks like it's in French.
Oh, is it backwards? Oh, yeah, that's because,
your screen.
Let's see if that happens. Oh, see the
There you
big
go.
brain on Brett. Yeah. So 985,000 roughly. That was, I went to, if we go, let me share the screen.
That's crazy.
This is CoinGlass's screen. This is, I took all of, let's see, the asset inflows. I took the total holdings. I took this column right here, added it all the way up to the bottom. And that's the number I got. So Wall Street's roughly holding $70 billion worth of Bitcoin. So this is another reason I think that we're staving off a recession, right? It's because because Wall Street's holding like almost $100 billion in Bitcoin, right? Now, in the short term, right, could that go down? Of course, but everybody knows on the long time frame that 70 billion worth of Bitcoin is worth more than it really is worth now, right? So Wall Street is getting this and understanding this store of value concept, right?
You know who's not getting the store of value concept are our friends over in Europe at the ECB coming out now with that latest paper going the cotillion effect. Wait, that's not fair. You can't have
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
I think I had that pulled up as well. Let me see. Give me a sec.
It's called the
But
cotillion
yeah,
effect.
like, come on. Are you seriously kidding me?
Right.
You're like Lagarde and the clowns over at you know what's unfair? When you print more money and you steal from people using your 2% inflation targets that are completely BS. Sorry, something happened with my Twitter. I got like all these tabs open. Go back. I'm like yelling at my computer now. Work. Thank you. Something's going on with my internet.
A lot of pumpy pump price action. Seeing lots of green on the charts live in real time here. Again, Solana, big moves. Sui, Helium. Just some of the stuff I'm looking at on my charts here.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's Mac. I got Max Kaiser's tweet. Yeah, if the price of Bitcoin rises for good, the existence of Bitcoin impoverishes both non-holders and latecomers. No, it doesn't. You know who does that? The ECB and Christine the Thief Lagarde. Yeah,
dude.
Again,
keeping it
go
spicy,
Google that one,
bro.
Yeah,
keeping it spicy.
Oh yeah, dude. Again, she's she proves white privilege exists, right? Like she broke money laundering laws that if anybody in the world broke, me, you, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. You're in jail for 5 to 10 years. She's the head of the ECB. She not only doesn't go to jail, she gets promotion to be the president of the European Central Bank. This is the clown world we live in, right? Where we don't prosecute anybody for anything. We keep pushing the WEF agenda. This literally, I'm going to say it out loud, satanic bullshit.
What, Gerald? You're going to get my Facebook channel shut down again. This happened like
anyway.
One of
let's
the
get
last
back to the Bitcoin economic
Gerald
theory
keeps
because
it so spicy. He keeps it controversial. Then my Facebook page and all my social media accounts get shut down and flagged.
Sorry. But again, the point being is that Bitcoin fixes all this crap, right? Whether you believe it or not, they slowly go away, right? I don't care if you like Team Red, Team Blue, Team Orange makes America red, white, and blue again. And these are just facts. But let's get into many of my Bitcoin economic theories.
So we haven't even got to that yet. We're almost like 20 minutes into the show, G, and we haven't even scratched the surface. And we're
we got into one.
We're already raising red flags and getting banned on social media from some of the content you're sharing.
That's how it goes. The truth will set you free.
But first, it's going to piss you off.
Yeah, always. It usually will upset you, and then it'll set you free. But yes. So one of those theories many moons ago was that Bitcoin will reduce crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah.
So eventually, again, and we discussed this in the last episode. Me and Nick went over this, where in the real world, physical money is a literally it's a red flag, right, for crime. right? It just makes it easier to take. If again, we'll use the same example we used in the last episode. I see two people. I'm a criminal. I'm a burglar. I rob people. I see two people walking on the street. I know one guy's got 10 Bitcoin somewhere, and I know this other guy just left the ATM and he folds 20 hundreds and he slides them in his back pocket. Now, my options are I can kidnap the Bitcoin guy and torture him for, I don't know, a day, a month. Maybe I get his seed phrase. Maybe I get some Bitcoin. Or I take a take a mag light. I whack the dude on the other head with the 20, the stack of hundreds in his wallet, and I take that and I'm done. Let me think about this one. I'm going to go with the paper money. So again, eventually this subdues actual crime in the world, right? So eventually, if you look at a chart, crime is going to do this over time, right? And we've already see this happening in where? El Salvador.
But I don't know if it's directly related to Bitcoin, though. I think Bitcoin's part of the conversation in El Salvador. But Bukele has really taken a huge stance when it comes to the gangs and the incarceration. So I don't know if it's really directly tied to Bitcoin. I think it's just more tied to some of the social policies that Bukele has pushed forward.
Yes, I agree with that. But let me give you another example, right? So the most perfect example of this, and this literally happened like 2 months after Bitcoin was legalized in El Salvador. So this gentleman, I forget his name. I think it was Jose. I could be wrong. Ignore my dog squeezing his toy back there. But basically, this gentleman used to have to take the day off from work once a month. He'd have to lose a day off from work. He'd have to get on the bus, take the bus 2 hours to San Salvador, right? Then he'd have to wait in line for like 3 to 8 hours, he would say, to pay his bill for his phone, right? Well, guess what? There's, how many spots in that chain he can get robbed? And you know how many people do get robbed when they go to town and go pay their bills? Lots of people. So the fact that now he doesn't have to lose all that day of pay, he doesn't waste all that time waiting in the line, he will never get robbed because he never has to leave his house to go pay his phone bill anymore. So he will never get robbed going to pay his bill because this is how he's going to pay his bill every time now.
Right. And I think for a lot of us in the Western world, we're like, well, we already have that. We don't have to leave our home anyways. We can do that already. So like, why do I need Bitcoin anyways? I'm just giving you the contrary.
No, correct.
Just,
and I literally did this orange pill pitch to an American yesterday in the car, right? So I said, you need Bitcoin because the hackers, once they figure out that it's 1,000 times easier to hack BNY Mellon than it is to hack Matty Sat's Bitcoin wallet, well, guess what? They're going to start hacking banks. And in 3 months ago, I said this in 2019, 3 months ago, 1,600 banks were hacked on the same day by, I don't know if it was the Lazarus Group or the North Koreans, but 1,600 banks were hacked in
Don't get me started on those North Koreans, man.
Day. Yeah.
Dude,
and remember, I warned about the North Koreans in that space a couple of years ago. Everyone laughed in that space.
They got troops on the ground right now in Ukraine.
Yeah, I saw that. They also, I heard there's this is rumored. I haven't verified this, but supposedly they're doing stuff in the DMZ to shut down possible traffic between North and South Korea. So there's definitely stuff going on, but that's for another show.
All right.
Well, other
I gotta
Bitcoin
grab my charger. Keep going. I'm listening, but I got to plug my charger in.
No worries.
Keep going.
Another Bitcoin economic theory that I was the first to say, and again, people thought I was crazy. I said this before Saylor. I said this before Mayor Suarez. But I specifically remember saying this to Marty Greenspan and Matty Satz and several other people. I was like, well, if Bitcoin becomes legal tender, then income tax can go away, right? And people were like, you're crazy. You're totally nuts. And literally within 2 months of me saying that, you have President Bukele saying this, Michael Saylor saying this, Mayor Suarez saying this. Now people are starting to get it because Bitcoin literally, the mining fees is a form of tax. We don't have to have tax. Like every time a transaction is done, fees are
let me
paid
ask
to
you this,
somebody.
man. Let me ask you this on just Bitcoin and you're talking taxes, and I'm sure you saw this recently as well. I think the state of Ohio now is moved where you'll be able to pay taxes in Bitcoin. My question to smarter people is this then: if I have Bitcoin and you want me to pay taxes, why would I do that? Because I'm going to get taxed on paying a
Yeah,
tax.
you would.
So we need to change the tax laws on how we address Bitcoin and how we look at it, especially from a tax purpose. And you know as well as I do that there are already, countries around the world where they are eliminating that. Unlike Italy, where unfortunately they're going the wrong direction when it comes to, all right, yeah. So Italy's got spaghetti for brains, so we already know that. But there's other countries. There you go. Thank God, Nick is so good. Nick and the Bitcoin Live team is. So good right there, always on it. Yeah, so Italy going the wrong direction, but I believe Bhutan was one of the countries where they have actually eliminated all kind of income tax on crypto. So some of these smaller nations, again, it's the emerging markets that we see, these emerging countries that are coming out really leading the charge on the cutting edge of Bitcoin adoption, and when it comes to regulation and even the tax policies.
Yeah, again, I agree. Italy messed it up. They'll figure it out eventually. But El Salvador, Bhutan, who else recently? Oh yeah, Japan is going to be reducing their capital gains tax drastically because they're aware that all of finance is moving to a cryptographically based universe, right? This is just how it is, right? Like your money is not secure in an American bank. That's why the American banking system is trying to, behind the scenes, as we speak, loosely form this cryptographic layer to protect these transactions, right? The UK has been operating, their banking system has been operating with cryptography for some time. So a lot of UK bank accounts are a lot more secure in this fashion, but not as secure as a Bitcoin wallet, right? Not as secure as a Litecoin wallet, right? And these things are just way superior forms of money than the zeros and ones that are in your bank account, right?
On the conversation of banking, I want to just continue with the fact that we just saw this week BRICS announcing Putin saying that they're going to start investing in crypto assets, and they've got their big BRICS conference coming up here in Kazan on the 22nd through the 24th. And so again, you're seeing a big shift from a whole trading block saying that, we are investing in digital assets.
Yeah. So my guess is they're going to start buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, a basket of currencies. To basically to build their own digital
That's a great
reserve asset, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody in the world now is finally woken up to Michael Saylor and the playbook from MicroStrategy. And whether you're a country, you're a sovereign state, or you are a sovereign individual, everybody needs Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And everybody's starting to look at what MicroStrategy did. And everybody called Saylor crazy in 2020. And they called all of us that were early adopters way back in 2017, you're crazy because it's internet magic money. Now, who's really looking crazy? Oh, it's not us anymore. It's the TradFi folks. It's the folks like at Morgan Stanley who didn't even get on because they're a RIA. They didn't even start getting access to the ETFs until this third quarter. And guess what? Now these TradFi guys are going, I recommend you should buy some Bitcoin mining stocks. I mean, are you... Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party.
And that's the other thing. I was orange pilling this millennial yesterday, and I was letting them know is like, you have no idea, like Wall Street's buying billions and billions billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Are you aware of this fact? She's like, no. And I was like, yeah, don't you love the mainstream media? The banks are stacking Bitcoin to the heavens, and no one in America knows this except Bitcoiners, right? That's it. Nobody talks about this. Not a soul is talking about this except Michael Saylor. Like that's it. And Saylor went in. This is a great story. Saylor went into a classroom just like a month ago, and they're like, the professor is like, like I can't. And he's like explaining what he did, and then he goes to the kids in the class. What would you do this? No, this is too risky. Would you do this? No, I'd never do this. Are you looking at the charts? This
Yeah.
shows you how brainwashed America is towards fiat money, right? Like he is breaking the whole book on investing.
Well, I think the other thing that needs to be looked at, though, is we need to talk about a generational shift in the demographics of age and folks just in America, okay? I mean, the baby boomers, that whole generation, they're not really going to get into it because they're set. They have their investments, they're all that stuff. They're from an analog world, and God bless them, they're great. They don't want to set it and forget it. But I'm talking about the people that are 25 to 50, right? There's a whole generation, especially, let's even narrow in 25, 34, okay? We have a huge population of men, women of all kinds of races, black, white, yellow, red, brown. Come on, feel the vibration, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch are even buying goddamn crypto. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's at. And if you don't understand that there's this huge generation that grew up in a digital space, thank you, Morgan Stanley, now saying buying Bitcoin mining stocks. Welcome to the party, Morgan Stanley. But there's this whole generation that grew up in a digital space that understands this and this digital economy and what that means. And so you're having to see, I think this is why the Morgan Stanleys and these TradFi guys and these RIAs are going, oh, wow, we need to embrace crypto and get on board because this is where the new investment sector is going to be coming from. It's these younger generations, these younger families that have maybe a kid or two kids on the way, and they're looking to get into the market, and they don't want the traditional banking system that has been corrupted, and they see those issues, and they want something that is theirs, right? And I think this speaks to that.
100%. 100%.
Whew. All right, I need a Xanax and a Bud Light.
And literally
man.
the head of digital assets at BlackRock, basically said the same thing you just said, right? This is the future of finance. The youth are heading this way.
And all the media as well needs to start. I think the media is going to shift, whether it's CNBC, whether it's traditional media, whether it's CB, all these news institutions that normally give you market updates, they're going to start bringing you market updates on Bitcoin and crypto, but they're going to need people who actually understand the asset class and knows what it means and knows who the key people in industry are that are making the moves so they can help communicate these stories to the broader audience and those people that are coming into the ecosystem that want to invest.
Yeah, I agree. But the bad thing about the mainstream media is they're keeping...
They're the mainstream media, right? No.
Yeah, they're keeping people locked into these bad technological habits.
Some are. I think some are. But I think that there's also smart people that
I think Yahoo, like you said, CNBC... there's a few outlets that are talking about digital assets, but I don't see it on CBS. I don't see it on NBC. I don't see it on ABC. The main,
you don't hear it on your talk radio. You don't hear it on, on the main. Yeah, So yeah, Bloomberg does. I think does a really great job. CNBC's done a lot better. Fox,
and it's dangerous,
Fox
right?
Business is kind of getting there a little bit with Charles Payne, but.
Like not letting America know about this is very dangerous because, again, the hackers have been loose ever since the pandemic. If you look at a chart of cybercrime, it's almost like a Bitcoin chart, right? It's very scary. And they keep stealing data and keep stealing data. And like I said, now they've realized that, good layer ones like Bitcoin and Litecoin, they're literally hack proof. Right. But your bank account, no, it's not hack proof. Right. They got 35 firewalls in front of your bank account to protect it. This is not exaggeration. Right. Like this is, like I said, I was just saying 10 minutes ago, they're going to this new system called Paze, right? PAZE. Like my bank just begged me to try and use it for $10. Like, oh, we'll give you a credit statement if you activate your Paze account. And I was like, yeah, no thanks.
Add another Z in it to make it sound cool, right? We got to put the Z in it. Some like brilliant guys in marketing were sitting around, what we could do, guys, to make it really catchy with the youth to catch on. Let's put a Z in it. It'll get with the Gen Z crowd and we'll be hip and cool, guys.
Yeah, we'll be so cool, man. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, if you want me to activate that,
Bitcoin's cool. Do that instead.
Yeah, exactly. Bank gangsters. If you want me to activate your new crap, put another zero behind it because $10 ain't shit.
It's a box of cereal at the grocery store.
Yeah, literally. It's like a box of grocery.
Grocery store. It's like $9.99 for a box of Wheaties.
It's a joke.
No, I'm not. That's seriously. I should have took a snapshot of it and shared it with you.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's pull up one of my out there.
Oh, more theories with the crypto oracle. We're cooking here. We're only 30 minutes into the bottom of the hour, and just thank you for everybody joining the program and the stream. And again, Bitcoin Live, Nick and everybody there.
let's see.
I'm
Where is it?
getting a message here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Fear and greed index is rising, someone says here. Yes, I do believe as the fear and greed index rises, so does the price, right? Obviously.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at, I think I found the tweet. So this is the tab. Let me see. Yes. So this is from, was this from 2022? I think this tweet is. So basically, yeah, February 17, 2022. So basically, my theory here is that Bitcoin and gravity are the same thing. So basically,
okay, buckle
you're
up
like,
for this
huh?
one.
Bring it on. So Bitcoin
I need another cup of coffee.
Yeah, hold on. Coffee and hit your pen. So Bitcoin is the gravity to the financial universe, right? So it, as people say, it's the singularity, but again, you're implying that it is a star, and I'm implying that no, it is actual gravity itself, right? You're saying it's a dark star, or it's a black hole, or it's a white dwarf.
Yeah, I've heard the black hole analogy.
Yeah. And no, what I'm saying is it's gravity itself, right?
But doesn't a black hole have gravity though?
Well, basically, what a black hole is basically it's a white dwarf that collapsed on itself.
No, you're wrong. The black hole was the greatest Disney movie ever made with those robots and stuff that flew around. I mean, dude, it's right there with the dark crystal, but the black hole with, oh my gosh, Max von Sydow and the robot, he was turning that is the best black hole ever. Anyways,
all right, back to the science part. So after the white dwarf collapses, yes, the gravitational field of a black hole becomes super, super intense. And that basically what I'm saying is that Bitcoin itself is gravity itself, and it's literally going to pull all of the money in the world to it eventually. And that's what we're starting to see, right? We got Wall Street's roughly got $70 billion worth of Bitcoin. Literally the hodlers of last resort. We haven't moved any Bitcoin like in 5+ years, right? So again, anybody shorting Bitcoin, you just saw the chart. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Are you totally batshit insane? That's, again, to the people, I said this time and time again, that want to short Bitcoin. It's like taking a pitcher of gasoline, and I go to you and I say, I bet you $100 I can throw this pitcher of gasoline on this fire and I can put it out. Yeah, good luck with that shit. So Gareth Soloway. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. Again,
close your short, bro. It's too late. You're probably burnt. So again,
there's a lot of people who respect Gareth. That say he's a good guy. That they've learned from Gareth. You know what I mean?
I don't know who those people are, because literally there was only one time in the last 7 months where his short paid out. Every other time he lost money. And you never hear him say, oh, I got burnt. You're never going to hear him say, oh yeah, I lost that $100,000.
Well, I don't really, you know what, honestly, I've never really followed him to be honest, not whether that's good or bad. I just haven't.
Yeah.
So I don't really know too much about it, but I know that you definitely have a certain take. I know some other folks that I respect. They kind of like, hey, I think he's got some skills, he's got some some knowledge that he can pass on and help folks. But again, I don't really know enough about the situation and where he's at, and so I would have to probably defer to smarter minds in the room on that conversation.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you saw the chart, right? Like, let's just.
The charts. I mean, when you look at the charts don't lie. You can't lie about that. And so when you say something and like, oh man, oops, then you kind of got to own it, right? And that's like I said, look, I'll stand by it. I retweeted it. I think it's 70. We don't hit 70 till probably maybe this week coming up here, and we do hit a new all-time high. I said that it's not a chart thing, but if I'm wrong, I'll be like, oh, oops, okay. Well, I'm an idiot. I'm a dork, but most people probably already know that. So I'm not surprising anybody with any groundbreaking revelations that I'm a dork, or I'm an idiot, you know?
Like
So,
here's the chart
that's why
again.
you
Like the
follow me,
only
because I'm an
time,
idiot.
yeah, the only time I think he got paid out was right here, right? So is it May? Wait, see his big red volume candle that like it lines up right with this one right here? Yeah, that was the only time Gareth made any money. If he made any money. But yeah, if you're shorting this, holy moly. Do you see any red volume candles that big anywhere in here? No, I see green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 green. And again, don't listen to this guy. Why are you even paying this guy? Like, this is my biggest pet peeve with people like Gareth Soloway. That $1,000 or $500 you paid for his course, you could have bought Bitcoin with that, and you'd have Bitcoin right now. And if you would have done that last
You're
year,
not gonna get any arguments from me on that one, bro. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Anything you look at, like, I could buy this or I could buy Bitcoin. Like, and
Exactly.
like 9 times out of 10, rocks is always going to win. You know, rock paper, Bitcoin's always going to win. You know,
and again, that was another one of my theories about Bitcoin last week that we were talking about AI. Right? Is that AI art and AI creations will become so homogeneous, and just like the internet, since Google made the internet free for everything, there's digital copies of everything. Well, guess what? AI will become worthless because they're so pervasive that why would I look at it when I can go say, oh, this is a Picasso, or, oh, I can look at this crap that I can see all over the internet. Oh, I'll pay for the Picasso. Yeah. I'm not going to pay for AI internet because it's garbage. So again, there's my newest theory is that AI art, like, literally makes AI worthless. And it's already happening. I just said this like a couple weeks ago, right? I was looking through like 7 months ago. Like, and again, I'm trying to be a better Christian. I don't look at porn as much anymore. But
this is why my Facebook account gets shut down. It's because you make comments like that, and I'm streaming it live on the Bitcoin Live network around the world, across the web, here on a Saturday or Sunday morning, whatever it is, wherever you are, and you make spicy comments like that.
But if you go through it, it's all like it's all AI. Why would I want to look at that when I could look at humans, right? So again, proving my point that AI is literally just becoming a tool, and we will abuse that tool as well. And Bitcoin fixes all that.
I don't have enough Bitcoin. Nobody has enough Bitcoin.
Of course.
Too bad I lost it all in that boating accident on Lake Union at Seafair back in 2021. It was during the pandemic, so there weren't a lot of people out there. So if you want my Bitcoin wallet, it's at the bottom of Lake Union.
Yeah, you're ski doing, and you hit that.
I was so ski doing. I was ski doing, and then I was ski knotting.
Yeah, you hit that 15-foot wake, and then you're ski not doing. Ski don't.
Yeah. All right, back over 69,000 here as we're about 40 past the hour. Bitcoin, man, the fight is on. I love seeing.
Oh yeah, again, it's 68.5, man. It's looking real good. So, you know what? Let's see if I can pull up. Yeah, let's pull up the Bitcoin.
And you know, all of this is great news for our friends in the Bitcoin mining industry, in the Bitcoin mining sector, because this means miners are way more profitable, right? And especially if they've got really great purchase power agreements, or they got a great energy mixture, if they're got some off grid, or they got some geothermal or whatever they're using to incorporate into their energy mix, man. So this price action is looking really great for miners. And then when you talk about the miners, just looking at their stocks in general, coming in off the weekend, I mean, I think most of them are all up and to the right and into the green. You know, everybody from, TeraWolf was up, Riot's up, Mara, obviously Iron. A lot of folks are excited about what's going on there. But I think that also on the news with Morgan Stanley, again, I can't help but laugh. Like these TradFi people who wanted to talk so much shit on Bitcoin and the whole industry.
We're buying more Bitcoin.
Are now buying, and they're now offering it, and they're now advising people to buy Bitcoin stocks. Like, you guys hated us and talked shit and laughed in our face, and now you're like, oh, you should buy it. So I don't know. I mean, Bit Digital is another one. I mean, they're all really good. The hard thing is, like, you don't want to chase the pump in anything, right? And so I think, again, the smart play is, whether it's, the stocks or any of the digital assets, always just dollar cost average. Be smart, be safe, stack sats and hodl. Not financial advice, but a damn good life suggestion. So
no, that's it. Again, in this day and age, that's the smartest shit you'll ever hear. Listen to that.
Let me ask you this, man. I know you're smart, and I might be derailing the topic here, but we got about 20 minutes left. So when it comes to the Bitcoin mining stocks and Bitcoin mining companies, and let me ask you this: some are taking a position where they will be taking a lot of their treasury, instead of holding Bitcoin, they're going to be holding Ethereum, and then they'll take that Ethereum and stake it, and then take the money that they make from the staking, put that back into Bitcoin, right? Now, my question, and I think that's great, because for me, that's what a lot of us degens did when we got into the space early. People were able to take Stellar XLM, stake that, take their inflation payouts, buy Bitcoin and stack Bitcoin, right? So that's nothing new. That flywheel concept is nothing new. Now big companies are like just kind of adopting it, right? So kudos to them to finally figuring it out. But my question, what I wanted to get to is this: if you're doing that with Ethereum, and we're looking at the Ethereum ETF inflows, what I've seen recently, they are dry, they are light compared. Thank you. Okay. So then does that not put your Bitcoin mining company maybe in a slightly more precarious position, or maybe a little bit more on edge if you're using Ethereum and that flywheel concept? Do you put yourself at risk, and at what risk reward ratio is that? You know what I mean? So there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, there definitely. I was going to take a look at this heat map, but we'll get back to that in a minute.
I know I just sidetracked you. Sorry, bro.
No. You segued me into something I did want to discuss.
I'm in the kitchen.
Let me just see if I can pull that up. Give me a second, because I did have it up here on the screen. Okay, so I did find it. We'll get into it in a second, but let me answer some of your questions.
My mic is a little bit soft, huh? That's probably because I'm...
Okay, so the first thing is first, right? As somebody who used to be a very serious ETH head, over the last year, I've been slowly doing the Homer Simpson into the bushes with Ethereum, right? And people are like, why is that, Gerald? And I tell people, because I have over a dozen Ethereum wallets that I can show you, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Whether the smart contract,
0, 0,
exactly, where I bought all these shit coins and they do nothing. They do nothing. They literally do nothing. And literally, there's problems with the smart contracts, right? So on the back end, if you leave one of these smart contracts open, anybody can come along and just siphon stuff out of your wallet if it's connected still, right? So I have this video up here that breaks that all down for us, and I didn't think we were going to get to it, but you literally just walked us right into it. So I said, all righty, perfect timing.
What I do.
Yeah, good job.
Kind of my thing.
Here it is. So this is why Ethereum sucks, the 8-minute version.
Feeling there is as a crypto investor or Web3 user is signing into your wallet and finding it empty. Your stomach literally drops and you begin to feel nauseous, hoping it is just an issue with things loading properly, only to soon realize everything you had is gone. Now this has happened to an estimated 1 in every 4 crypto users, and the sad part, it's 100% avoidable, and I'm going to show you how later on in this video. But before I do, it would be greatly appreciated if you can go ahead and smash the like and subscribe button down below so I can continue to put out more content just like this. So
hack soon at some point with the EVM ecosystem, right?
So I'm going
boldly. It also
Labs has to say about all this.
So this is the head of I believe Sui, one of the guys that's the head of Sui Labs, and this is what he had to say about ERC20 tokens.
It is impossible to scale an EVM chain. And we make that statement very boldly. It's also impossible to keep an EVM chain safe, right? The number of hacks, we're only going to see billion-dollar hacks soon at some point with EVM ecosystem, right?
So I'm going to unpack why this is happening.
So did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? It is impossible to scale and it's impossible to secure an EVM chain.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? You shouldn't hold Ethereum long-term. Your Wall Street, you shouldn't be doing the trick that Matty Satz just said, right? Because again, let's just watch some more because it gets better.
And also tell you how to avoid it. And no, it doesn't involve downloading some paid tool, wallet guard extension, or well, that's because your wallet just queries the blockchain to find tokens that you ever wonder why when you open up MetaMask or one of a dozen other wallets, you don't always see all your tokens and NFTs? Well, that's because your wallet just queries the blockchain to find tokens that you have claim to. This is also why a lot of people say that you don't have true ownership over your tokens and NFTs because they are not truly in your control. They're just part of a shared smart contract. Now, if I'm losing you, stick with me because I'm gonna tell you why this really matters in just a bit. But as I'm sure you can imagine, this can cause confusion for many users, and having to manually add tokens or NFTs to your wallet is far from ideal. Problem is that is the least of your worries. The real problem lies in the fact that all it takes is one click to lose everything and be none the wiser as to why. And don't think this just happens to beginners. This has happened to seasoned veterans, developers, major whales, and even the Phantom Foundation wallet, which was drained for over $7 million in 2023. I know this all may sound a bit doom and gloom, but thankfully there is a solution and an easy way for you to avoid it happening to you, which I'll get to in just a bit. So first, let's dive into how this happens. Since all these tokens are basically just data in a smart contract, in order to do anything with them, you have to give protocols or sites permission to access and use your tokens. So take this for example. Say you want to list an NFT on OpenSea, and if it's your first time doing so, you'll notice you are asked to sign a transaction giving OpenSea permission to access this NFT, and typically all NFTs that you have in that collection. This is called an approval transaction. Then you have to sign another transaction to actually list the item on the marketplace. So now you just told the smart contract that created that NFT that you want OpenSea to be able to send it to someone else if they pay the agreed upon price. Seems harmless though, right?
Wrong.
For one, the approval transaction is typically forever, and if you want to remove that permission, you have to manually revoke it, and it involves another transaction that costs you money, and most people don't even know that. But that's far from the worst part. If that site or dApp is hacked, then it is possible.
And technically that's a little misleading because there is a time frame, and in the smart contract, if like I think it's 6 months on OpenSea, if it goes past 6 months, it does come down as well. But this is why Ethereum becomes more and more problematic, right?
Oof. Wow.
Yeah. Again, it's
I
not
think
looking
you just
good.
scared a lot of people into just buying Bitcoin.
Yes, it's okay. It's all right.
Dollar cost average, self-custody,
Yeah.
stay safe.
And again,
you won't
people
go
keep
wrong.
asking me about these other chains, like you were saying, Sui or whatever.
It's called
Sui. Again,
Sui.
I will stick with what I like and what I know, and the best
You know what? And I
L1s.
think that Jerry, I think that's what it comes down to is what is your risk profile, and what's, the world doesn't move to the beat of just one drum, and what might be right for you might not be right for some. You know why? Because it takes different strokes to move the world, Gerald. And so
Takes different strokes.
But I mean that seriously in the sense so if I have a bag of suey and I think I want to allocate a little bit to it, great, fine. That's why I don't really care, and I don't want to hate on people in the community like, oh, you got a bag of XRP, you're dumb, you're stupid. No, that's so 2017. That tribalism is so old. The only way
It's your money.
unless it's Cardano, then go for
Yeah.
it. I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. I want anybody who's in this industry, if you've been in this and you're trying to make money, God bless you. You know what? Whatever project you think it is, and that's your risk profile, God bless you. I want you to be successful. And
I do too.
hope-
That's why I will talk shit on Cardano. Charles,
you keep it spicy, brother. You keep
yeah,
it
Charles
spicy.
saying that, Charles has been saying Cardano is going to pass Bitcoin for like
Where's the
5,
latest
6
tweet,
years.
Nick? Hey, Nick, can you pull up the Nick, our
The
producer
Charles.
from Bitcoin Live? Nick is the best. I'm sure he'll pull up the video. We'll close out with Hoskins.
Oh, no. I want to close out with something Bitcoin
Oh, you got
related.
something else? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm
I want to
just here
do
for the
something
ride.
Bitcoin related. And
All right,
so basically, this is not my own theory, but after you've studied economics for some time and Bitcoin for some time, the one thing about Bitcoin economics is that Bitcoin is going to reprice everything, right? And this, and smart Bitcoiners understand this, from housing to cars to food and everything in between. And it might take
housing so big right now, dude. Like,
it might take
just want
20
to
to
sell
50
my house
years
right now and just be like, done. Sell it.
Oh,
pay
yeah.
off debt, buy Bitcoin.
And one of the greatest things that we're starting to see is this repricing of energy, right? Where we saw a couple weeks ago, we talked about it, I think 2 episodes, where TEPCO is now taking their big solar farm, and anytime that they don't have the distribution demand, what are they doing? They're turning on their ASIC farm and they're generating money. Well, the Dutch, and again, there's several parts of the world that people are geniuses and they're figuring out all these applications because, again, if you study thermodynamics, right, like all of this stuff has applications, right? So we talked about the guy in New York that has the spa where he's heating all his spa pools using ASICs, right? Well, there's a flour company in the Netherlands, right, that is using ASICs to heat. Well, here's a company that's growing peppers, right? And here it is. This is awesome, dude. I love this one. Let me open it up. Boop, 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 boop. Share this tab.
So we are standing here at the largest pepper growing greenhouse on our planet, and the chance that if you buy a pepper in Europe that it's a Bitcoin pepper is insanely high. Really nice is that these machines here in the Netherlands are supplying freedom for hundreds of millions of people, so they can actually use their money whatever they see fit.
Dude, peppers, like, again,
amazing, good stuff right there, man.
Is going to change, right? So Bitcoin is the carbon credit, right? It's the capture credit. It's whatever you need it to be when you need it to be, right? You're that guy, like I said, in El Salvador trying to pay his bill on the Lightning Network. Guess what? It's a payment network right then and there. Your Saudi Aramco want to capture that methane. It is the carbon credit, right? Because we're capturing that methane and we're turning it into energy and converting it into Bitcoin, right? So it's whatever you need to be whenever you need it. And that's what makes Bitcoin a million times better than paper money. It is the hardest money ever created. We're about to see the future unfold. Like these people that are fighting Wall Street adopting Bitcoin, you don't get what's happening. Do you understand? If we want this to be the asset of the world, Wall Street must adopt it, right? If you want it to be
I think speaking of that, on that news was on Friday, we saw the options for New York Stock Exchange and the CBOE getting approval for the Bitcoin ETF options. So again, I think that's again part of the bigger piece of the puzzle when you're talking about adoption there, Jer.
Yes, 100%. Nick wanted to throw up that Jim Cramer turned bearish on Bitcoin. Yeah, that's always been always a good indicator that we're going higher. But yes, I mean, the future is bright. Bitcoin is hope, right? There's a lot of darkness in the world right now. And that's my newest Bitcoin theory, is that Bitcoin was sent from God. You know, a lot of people think that's a joke. I don't think this is a joke. If you read the Bible, I've literally been reading the Bible like almost 20 times a day. That's not an exaggeration. I found it in Proverbs, right? He that withholdeth corn, right? So I know it's almost a leap.
I think that's called exegesis there, Jared, when you take scripture out of context to fit your own need.
Oh, yes.
Maybe that's
yes.
eisegesis. It's one of the Jesus. It's not Jesus, but it's exegesis or eisegesis. I forget here on the early.
But again,
morning,
it's not the only thing, you know, I have, right? We have that quote from Leonardo da Vinci, which is like 400 years old. Invisible coins will make rich many who spend them, right? Like, so
Henry Ford talked about an energy currency, right?
Exactly. So this idea has been floating through the minds.
It's been in the ether, in the global consciousness, in the collective, if you will,
for 500 years.
Right.
So who has the capability to do that?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, no, God.
Oh,
that's it.
Sorry.
Yeah, Elon ain't God. Sorry. But yeah, this is, I know people think this is a stretch, but the fact that this isn't a joke, right? This is in Leonardo da Vinci's, one of his actual journals that's in the Vatican, right? Yeah. So this idea has been around for 400 plus years. And again, there's only one way that could be. That's God. And God, if you read the Bible, getting back to the Bible, and he talks about money, he talks about silver and gold. He talks about them being just forms of money, right? And Bitcoin is the most just form of money ever created. And that article by the ECB saying it's unfair. No, it is the most fair economic system ever created. So don't listen to that.
It's just unfair to them because they were.
Oh yeah, there it is. Thank you. Proverbs 11:26. He that withholdeth the corn, the people shall curse him. Right. So I know Marty Greenspan had a different take on that. But my take is you shouldn't hold the Bitcoin from the people, right? Do not withhold the corn for the people. And again, don't, you know, again, and we're almost there. We're almost there, right? The banks are about to, so he that withholdeth the corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it, right? And that's very similar to the Da Vinci quote, right? Invisible coins will make those that spend them wealthy, right? So again, we can see that this idea, like I said, this idea of intangible just money has been around for 400 years. And Da Vinci loved the Lord, right? Look at his art. He was inspired. He was touched and blessed. I mean, we talk about him to this day. Look at the Vatican, right? I'm sorry, that's Michelangelo.
That's the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, thank you. But the point being is this idea has been around for 400 plus years. For that to be possible, there's only one power that could do that, in my opinion.
That's an opinion.
Yes, it is.
And
it is my opinion.
What it is. And that's the great part of that. We can have this dialogue and we can share opinions and ideas and exchange. And, you know, not everybody has to agree with somebody's opinion, right? You know, I mean,
exactly.
Again, I think it goes back to the world not moving to the beat of just one drum. Look, Gerald, I grew up in a middle-class family with middle-class roots. So I know that it takes different strokes to move the world, to run the world. Yes, it does. Takes different strokes.
So on that note, Bitcoin is here. I know people think it's a big joke when we say it fixes everything or it's here to save the world. But it is. and it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, right? It's going to take probably like 50 to 100 years. But as more and more people, right? And that's one of my own Bitcoin economic theories that I've discussed time and time again. The more people that hold corn, the safer corn becomes, right? So
of course, and the volatility goes down, and yeah.
Exactly. So the more people that hold Bitcoin, the safer it becomes. God bless you. Stack sats, like Maddie Sats is always saying, stack sats, stay safe, be humble. And that's, you know, as a Christian, that's one of the things I had to work on is humility, right? Like I'm somebody really good at forgiving people. Yeah.
No, not you, Gerald. You're one of the most humble guys I know. God, come on.
I can forgive people real easy.
Humility.
I can admit when I'm wrong real easy, but humility, I got to work on that one. That's, you know, that's what the big guy upstairs helps me with. And again, I tell people one of the most amazing stats I've ever seen in the last year of my life. If you read the Bible more than 4 times a week, depression goes down 50%. All of these positive things start happening in like, literally, it's not like 10%. We're talking 50%, 60%, 40%. So yeah, I know people think it's, a lot of people think it's this mythology book. But the new thing I tell people, if you don't know who St. Matthew was, he was a publican. And if you look up the word publican in the dictionary, he was a tax collector for the Romans, right? So he was an excellent accountant and an amazing record keeper. And I tell people the book of St. Matthew is a historical document, it's not mythology. It is an actual account of what happened in Jesus's life. So go read it. It's you'll learn some things and you'll be amazed because he was one of the greatest humans to walk the earth and our Lord and Savior. Amen. And take care. There's a little church at the end.
Amen. All right.
And we went.